Let's give you a quick rundown of what it actually is and what we actually do here. So this is my starting panel. I have a Ray Marine chart plotter, which is there. I found this as a bargain at King's. They wholesale electrical equipment for camping and caravan and that type of thing. Radios, I have my VHF radio there. I also have a small little handheld that I use for just communicating with friendly boats and people around me. This here is just my dining area, or where I sit and do my charts and things like that as well. Kitchen, we have a spirit stove under that. You can see the time now, it's 10 to 12, and it's a Wednesday morning. In here we have a UV berth, and over there we have a dunny or head or toilet or shit house. Depending if you're in Australia, where you are. We are in Sydney, Australia. And what we're going to do today is just pick up the mooring and then go for a bit of a sail down Parramatta River, down Sydney Harbour, and we have a quick look there. I have an EPIRB there, fire blanket, torches, and again my 40-litre fridge from King's. I'll show you outside. So we haven't started up yet, but I've done halfway through of just preparing the boat to get started, to get going. I'll show you what I've done outside. This is my helm, Ray Marine Autopilot. I use my Navionics on the pad at the front. And let's have a look here. Come on, oops. Move this across here. Because I am an amputee, I only have one hand, which is the left hand. I run all my rigging and lines to the cockpit. I've got one reef line, one mainsail, and one topping lift, which come here to these cleats and clamps. Self-tailing winches. These are just normal winches, Barlow winches here, without the self-furling or self-tailing, and I really need self-tailing winches, having only one hand. That's my self-tailing winches. And in the front here we have a temperature, rev counter. I also can operate my windlass or anchor winch from here as well. I also have a remote inside the cabin that I use too. So solar panel, that helps me charge my batteries and keep things just topped up, because I don't switch my fridge off. I leave my fridge running all the time, and it seems to be enough to actually operate that as well. Out the front there you can see is my anchor winch, windlass. My sails are just the sloop. You can use a compass yacht or a compass sloop, 29 foot, 8.8 meters I believe. And there's a couple of compasses around right here where we moved. There's one here, to read, and one right behind me. So there we are. This is Five Off Bay. Beautiful spot. My dinghy's on that end there. That's where I leave my tender to get over to the boat. The water's very, very brown today. We had some serious rain and storms. So it's just the downwash and the silt and everything coming down the water into the harbour. And it's very dangerous in the water at the moment. There's plenty of bull sharks around. There's been 4 attacks in the last 48 hours, shark attacks in the last 48 hours. So there you go. Be very careful. So I'm going to put this down and I'm going to start up. So I'll just leave this standing here and I'll give you my procedure of starting the motor. So I've turned the fuel on already. So I'll go to my key switch and turn the key. This is one thing I forgot, which is very important, is just check my oil level. So I'll do that. Oil dipstick is right here, and we spot on. So there we go. I'll get a rag and just check that as well. So let's try to speak to yourself. You're not really talking to yourself, you're talking to all the audience and everything. So got a dirty rag somewhere. Just double check to be sure, to be sure, to be sure. There we go. Oil's a bit high, but everything's running right here, so that's a strong possibility. So just wipe things down in a mess. Okay. When I start up, I don't give any fuel. I just use the motor in low rev, just swing it until it starts. We have a book, DV10. Third time lucky, guys. It is a cold start. It's been a cold start, so the motor hasn't run for a couple of days, so that's why I took about 3 goes before she lit up. But that's fine. It sounds good. So what I'll do, I'll let the motor just run for a little while, and you'll notice that it will quieten down a bit once everything gets a bit of oil and lubricated through it. Let me just switch on all the electronics now as well. Wait a second. Let's go. What I do, I switch the radios on channel 16. I go here and I switch my autopilot, chart plotter, and all that gear on as well. Just checking that that's on. My chart will come off in a second. That's it. I'll just put it on pause for a minute. Okay, I'll just go and take the dinghy up the front and then drop the mooring and leave the dinghy here. So I'll let you guys watch me do my thing. The phone itself is on a DJI Momo or something like that, I think it's called. It's something I bought many years ago. And I'm using an Apple iPhone 17 Pro. To be sure. So I'll put it in reverse and just reverse off the anchor, off the mooring. I'll take you down here and I'll put you next to me where it's a bit safer. Okay, I'll have the boat in reverse and we'll just reverse off the anchor. And I'll put you back in pause. Chart, Rainbow chart there, you'll see the ferry that's there showing up on AIS. Back in pause. This here is Gladesville Marina, Gladesville Bridge in front of us. I won't pull the sail up yet until we in the next bay, and then we'll face the wind. The breeze, hardly any breeze blowing. We'd be lucky to have about 5 knots of breeze going. Morning. 5 knots breeze going, another ferry coming through. And as you can see, my rigging again. What does it say? It's saying here that we temperature's dropped down again on the temperature. We're doing about 2,000 revs. That depth don't seem right. 1.2 meters. It's much deeper than that, unless I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. Okay. It's more like it. 6.3, 6.8, 7 meters. This is about the depth of it. And take you up on the top. Just leave you up there. Got a run out current, so there is a bit of current helping me along, which is always very helpful. Water taxi there. Zero wing. Okay, we have a couple of islands here. We've got the mainsail up, got it reached just a little bit, heading straight across the wind. So I'll just let this run, and hopefully this camera and phone won't get lost. The autopilot doing a change of course, and it seems that we may be going straight into the wind. The motor's just clicking over, just at 2,000 revs. We're doing about 3.4 knots of speed. The wind is about, I'd say about 6-7 knots. It's coming almost straight on to us. So I'll just keep on this course until we can. The sail is luffing a bit, so I'll wait till I pass this point of it, and then I'll tack over again. See you soon. with the wind this time. And we've got the headsail up. Speed is 3.3 knots. I guess that the wind must probably be, I don't have a wind meter on here or wind speed gauge, running at about 6-7 knots. So we're doing okay. And we're also going directly into the current because the tide is just about to run out. So before there's too much current, I think I'll just head back. Just a short excursion today. I was basically just checking the motor, making sure that the thermostat is working with the motor running, and the motor's staying cool and at the appropriate temperature, about 16 degrees. This is my friend here, the autopilot. Does a wonderful job. I certainly will not be able to, I don't think, sail this boat, this Compass 29, without the autopilot. It's a Raymarine autopilot, EV100 I think they call it. Yep. And it does a wonderful job. Very happy with being outside, sailed up and down the coast and on my own, and it's very, very good. Sailing until champagne sailing, until it's not champagne sailing. But at the moment, honestly, it's champagne sailing. It's perfect, just with the headsail up, heading back. I will be turning to my starboard just as I get around the corner. This area is called Pulpit Point. Sail up in this direction, the headsail in this direction. I think we may have to tack as we come around Pulpit Point to head down to Blaisdell Bridge, but let's see how we go. I'm soon to be making the turn around Pulpit Point here. So let's see, here we go. I'll just put the camera up down while I tack on the autopilot. Same sail configuration, well, goodness, nice and easy. Maybe not. Knots. We're going straight down the wind at 4.2 knots. Sorry for my bum. Give you a quick, I'll show you quickly. Okay, it's a lot there. Still got a bit of a reef on it, so don't have the full sail up yet. Motoring now at what it's saying, 4.1 knots, 4 knots, so that's pretty good going. That's our neighbour Steve there. Back at home base, just picked up the mooring up there. Had a good sail this morning. And now it's just winding down, making sure everything is all in order still, and everything is good. So the exercise of the day really was just to make sure that my motor is not overheating. So have a look at my gauges. Move that right that way. Gauges there. I'm just idling at 1700. Voltage is right, and as we can see, my temperature is pretty good too. Very low. It goes up and down. It goes up to about 60 and then drops there. And I think as the thermostat switches off, it allows water to go in and yep, cool the motor down. But other than that, everything is working perfectly. Touch wood, of course, yet there's a boat. Things do F up. So back, my tent is back, and yeah, this is where we are.